So today may be a bit of a late start, but I have a good reason. Okay, I have a very good reason. Today has been a very busy day. My friend wanted to stream like a little horror game, Greener Grass Awaits. It was funny watching them play through because they had a lot of the same reactions that I did, but they're much better at the golf game than I am. They actually beat the game without killing off like enemies, which is surprising. To be fair, I don't think that game did very well at explaining that you could kill enemies in that game. Like, you had to die first to know that you could kill someone. But at that point, you're so frustrated that you just want to quit the game, right? Because you take so long to go from one end to the next, because you're usually so afraid. And I think that game in particular had too big of a map on like the ending section of the game. But, you know, it was funny to like watch. And it was good too. Because, you know what I mean? It's always nice to spend time with like friends. Obviously, the streaming thing is more of like for a fun thing for me. So it doesn't mean that I won't try to stream, and it doesn't mean that now it won't be a long stream. It will be a longer stream today as well, because we got a lot of things to go through. Some very interesting things that I'm very excited about, actually. And I'll get into sort of what we're doing today later. Some funny things happened. One, there's a Zelda movie. I don't know how I feel about that, but looking at how the Mario movie was received, I can't imagine it being super good, but I also can't imagine it being awful as well. The Mario movie is a bit harder to make work, I feel like, just because, like how many people know that, like, Mario is a movie? Or, like, know that, like, Mario has, like, lore, right? When you play Mario, it's very, very hard to sort of, like, see the lore that's, like, happening. There's basically no lore at all. Basically, the lore in every single game is you go find the princess, right? And, you know, even looking at, like, their latest games, it's roughly the same. Even the, like, you know, their latest major title, which I don't think is a Wonder, because I've heard Super Mario Wonder is like really, really short for the amount of gameplay that you have. I'm talking more like Super Mario Odyssey, which I still think is probably their best entry yet, at least in terms of like, you know, between past and like present. Super Mario Odyssey, that game has zero lore. You just kind of go in and it's like, oh yeah, like you have like weird looking like 3D Sonic enemies. You have Mario, and he's trying to save the princess. The princess, you know, I have an accent and I study. The princess, and you're trying to deal with like things and like, you know, and spoilers, if you've never played the game, you don't save the princess, she saves herself, and then you and Bowser save each other, and you and Bowser fight over her, okay? That's the entire story. There is no lore. So, you know what I mean? It makes sense why the Mario movie flopped. I'm a bit more hopeful for the Zelda movie just because like Zelda has a very rich lore, and that lore is also much the same. It's a bit like I've heard this phrase tossed around where like Seinfeld is like written like a stage play where like each act has no real or like each like time that the play happens, each episode is its own self-contained story. In much the same way, every Zelda game and every Zelda story is its own self-contained story, right? It has some similarities to each other, and they mostly have this like meta lore of like, you know, the priestess of light, as well as the warrior of like time. They always get like resurrected and like stuff, right? And they're bound to each other through like fates, right? But for the most part, the lore of the movie can be completely separate from everything that is already established inside of the games themselves, but it still has a rich ethos and like a rich mythos to like work off of. That's the one thing that I think Mario lacked, was a rich mythos. Mario is like the most bare bones mythos, to the point where they had to, you know, use Donkey Kong. And it's obviously Donkey Kong's, you know, whole thing was like, you know, based, like, the original Mario was his Mario going against Donkey Kong, right? Like trying to stop and then save, like, the princess or like something. But even then, like, it's weird how like New Donk City had to be included because there isn't anything else in like the Mario lore that would make sense as like a map, right? It's very, very hard to think of anything besides like Princess Peach's castle, which you don't even get to like go to, right? Inside Odyssey you see it, but you don't get to go to it, I don't think. At least I never found a way to go to it. And then, you know, some other random locations that are basically just like a desert area, a grassland area, a weird wacky like water world, and then some like weird purple like goo world, right? That's basically it. Zelda has an entire rich mythos. It has, entire, lines of like gods. There are entire like races in the game that have like their own cultures and their own sort of like ideals and their own sort of like way of living in the world. There's an entire sort of like actual geographical map that has been consistent throughout the like games in terms of like how things are like structured. There's a consistent bad guy in like Ganon, and there's a consistent sort of like prophecy angle that I think the movie could do decently well. It is being funded by, I think, Sony. I want to say, I think it's being funded by Sony, or like they're helping fund parts of it, which is actually very fascinating. If you think about what that means, like Sony's movie division has seen like, oh yeah, this could totally work. But at the same time, I don't know if it will, because again, we've seen video game movies, right? Most video game movies suck. Most of them, pretty much all of them actually. The only one that I personally liked was Final Fantasy. What's it called? Spirits Within or something? What's it called? It's a really old movie. If I can even remember what it's about. Final Fantasy Spirits Within? I'm pretty sure that's one. The Spirits, yes. Final Fantasy, The Spirits Within. Which, to this day, actually still looks really, really good. But that movie had nothing to do with Final Fantasy. That movie had nothing to do with Final Fantasy. But that movie was, like, insane. Like, actually insanely good. And even though the story was, like, useless, but it was a very, very nice looking movie, and it was at least fun to like watch. Other than that, I can't think of a single video movie that is like good. So like Zelda has at least like a lot of like trash that it can step on, right? It's like being born in like a very sort of like bad neighborhood, right? It's like for the most part, doing just the bare minimum probably puts you ahead of the pack for the most part, 99% of the time, because everything else is like super, super bad. Like just being able to like move away from there is already a massive step up. If that makes sense. Obviously, that's a bad analogy because it's like, civil engineering and like stuff like that, and like, neighborhood planning and like stuff. There's a whole bunch of different reasons why things happen the way they are. What I'm trying to say is, it's when you're in a trash dump, okay, and you find not even a diamond, but like a single piece of copper, you're like, holy fuck, I can at least get more than 5 cents for this. At least. So I do hope that the movie goes well. I do think it has a lot of like lore they can work with that's going to be very interesting to at least play with. And I think it's going to be at least fun to watch, because like Mario, there's not really much action that you can do for Mario. Like what is he, well, what action does he really have? He gets different powers, he can throw like, fire and stuff. They had to go with a comedy angle. Again, they had to go with a comedy angle for the Mario movie because there's no way to make that thing serious. There's no way. It's impossible to. They even had to include a goatsy inside one of the statue walls, because like there's no other way to make a Mario movie. Like there is nothing about it. But Zelda, a talented warrior going through a time, who is the personal guard to the priestess of like time, or of light, I think. Is it light or time? I don't know. She's a priestess of something. Somebody is a something something, and then somebody is a something something. But it changes between games. Like everybody becomes a different something. Like now Zelda is both time and light, and Link is just a dude. wait. In Tears of the Kingdom, right? Zelda is now light and time, and then Link now he's just a dude. He's just a dude armed to the teeth with his own weapon. But he's just a dude now. He doesn't really have anything like really special about him. He used to be like, all about time, but now it's not. I also was told by a chat member that the entire storyline of Zelda sort of like coalesces into Tears of the Kingdom. Like it is like the ultimate tie-in to like everything. It's like the knot to every single parallel timeline to like tie it all together into like this like one sort of like central timeline. Which I don't really know if that makes sense, because even going from Breath of the Wild to Tears of the Kingdom, it's like, what the hell is going on? Like, some of these characters, like, the time scale and how quickly they clean things up seems impossible. At the same time, you have the Hudsons, and they can just make a bunch of buildings everywhere, like, instantly, in, like 1 year. So, I mean, it's not too crazy to think about. Yeah, I hope the movie does go well. I will probably watch it if it comes out, if it ever does, because, I mean, you never really know with these movies, but the Mario movie at least did, I think, commercially well, right? Mario movie box office. Like, what's the, like, numbers? Holy shit! Whoa. Wait. The budget for the Mario movie was $100 million. It made $1.3 billion. Holy shit. Okay, yeah. So the Zelda movie will probably for sure come out because why wouldn't it? I see now why Sony decided to put in money with Nintendo to make this movie because when you see numbers like that, literally a 13%, a 13 times return on your overall value, that's kind of good. That's kind of good. Okay, that's kind of insanely good. Holy shit. Another funny thing that happened to me today is that I don't say this to be mean, okay? I want to preface this. I love my family, okay? My nieces and my nephews, I would die for them. I feel a very strong responsibility towards them as their uncle because I grew up with like most of them. Like literally, I'm like, it's weird, okay? One, it's weird being an uncle at the age of like 12. It's like, imagine waking up at like 12 or like 13 and your brother says, hey, you're an uncle now, and I'm like, dog, I just started high school, I don't even know what the fuck that means. It's like, I don't know what the hell is going on, right? But so that's why I feel a very strong bond to them. But even the latest niece who was born when I was like, you know, a young adult, I still feel a great sense of responsibility and like, you know, love her, make sure that, you know, that like life is okay. And my whole general ethos on like kids is like, you have to make sure that their life is better than yours when you were growing up, right? Because if you're gonna bring a child into this world, you should try your best to make sure that their life is significantly better than your life. Not to spoil them, right? I think you still need to at least teach them things and like make sure that they're not gonna grow up to be assholes, but at least to give them a better chance in like life than, you know, you may have had. My niece is dumb as rocks. My niece is dumb as rocks. She's not bad. She's not bad, but she has no patience at all. I've never seen a child with no patience before. It was the funniest thing that I've ever seen, okay? I'm not even kidding you. It took me, okay, because every time she comes home from school, she loves to play with the like dog, which you can see on the camera. She's dead asleep. Today's been a lazy day for her. She's been very lazy today. Which, by the way, tomorrow, I'm getting a new bed ramp for her. Because she cannot sleep alone, and I am losing sleep every single day. Like, if this keeps up, I will never be able to sleep. So, she gets a doggy ramp soon. So she can go off the bed at night and pee without having to bother me. Because that's been the largest issue, is she bothers me every time she wants to pee. She almost took a massive dumpy on the bed, because I did not wake up in like time. And I was like, okay, we are not going to do with this. We have to get you self-sufficient. But apparently it's a very, like Chihuahuas and their energy levels are like, you know, no. This one is like she's hyper for like 2 hours, and then once I play with her for like 2 hours, she's like, please don't bother me. I really want to sleep. So, but she comes home from school, and she's like, Uncle Stick, I really want to play with the dog, right? Usually I leave the door unlocked, but I noticed last time she opened the door too early. She didn't wait for like, you know, all the other doors to be closed because she doesn't know. She's like a kid, right? Like my niece is like, you know, she's like 6 or 7. Like it's like kids hanging out with like kids. Like it's like, you know what I mean? Like they're all stupid. and they're all ignorant of the world because they're still learning. But their ignorance also, I confuse it for stupidity. But they're not stupid. They just don't know anything. She just doesn't know anything. She's probably smart. She just doesn't know anything. I don't say it to her face, but she just doesn't know anything. So this time I locked the like door, right? And like, you know, I know to go and open the like door once she like knocks. This is the timeline, okay? She comes home, knocks on my door. I say, yeah, 5 seconds, okay? I'm old. I'm 28. My bones are cracking. I've got a growing belly, which I'm trying to get rid of. But again, I love food. Like, time takes time. There's a fence between me and the rest of the room. Like, I have less room in my room than the dog has. The dog's playroom is the entire room. I don't have anything, okay? 5 seconds is all the time that it takes for me to get off the chair, climb over the fence without breaking anything, and on top of that, make sure that everything that I was doing is like properly saved, just in case something dies or I trip on a wire or like something. Or if I get like a heart attack, at least there's food in her like bowl, so she'll like last until someone finds me. So 5 seconds, right? I get up. I have just stepped over the fence. Okay, I'm about to open the door. Next thing I hear, Mommy! Uncle didn't open the door! He didn't open the door! He doesn't want me to play with the puppy! And I was like, holy shit, it's been 5 seconds, child. 5 seconds, right? So now I'm hauling ass. And I'm like, oh god. dude, my sister-in-law is gonna think I'm an asshole, but like, it's not the case, man. I need more than 5 seconds. So I'm hauling ass at this point. And at this point, the dog is awake. She's like, holy shit, it's time to play, right? And when this dog is ready to play, I need to be careful not to step on her, okay? Like, you don't understand. Small dogs, they run in between your legs. They run really close to you. And so she's like going like crazy. And I'm trying not to like accidentally like break her like back or anything, making sure that she doesn't escape the like room, right? 5 seconds, okay? I run out the room. I'm like struggling to contain the like dog so she doesn't escape and run into the garage, right? My niece gives me 5 seconds. And then I have to go upstairs and I have to be like, honey, 1, why did you lie? 2, you have to give me more than 5 seconds. And she is angry. She's like, I don't want to talk to you. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, what do you mean, child? I got 5 seconds. So yeah, it was just a funny thing that happened because it reminded me of how much, like, how bad of a parent I would be. Because, like, I wouldn't know what to do, right? Like, I felt like hurt, but it's so stupid to be hurt by that because like my niece doing that is not a hurtful thing. She just has no patience. And she gave me 5 seconds. Oh, hello, welcome back to a non-Astra Libra stream. But I did get some farming done after the stream was over because I figured might as well skip all the farming stuff for you guys. I only got like 1 item though before I had to sleep though. But welcome. Sorry, I was just going over a story with my niece about how she gave me 5 seconds to open a door. But thankfully, all was good. She'll be back tomorrow. Today, she didn't get to play with the dog because she was just angry. I don't know. Kids are very hard to like deal with because their patience level is like 0. So hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to get to the door within 5 seconds and she won't like cry. You made it to the last boss earlier? Holy shit! Wait, you actually went like crazy on it. Nice. Don't spoil anything, but I'm glad. I'm so sorry. I'm so gassy. I'm glad that you made it there because that game is fun. I was playing it for so long last night that I woke up like super late. That's not why today's stream is late, but there's a whole bunch of reasons that I just anyway. But yeah, that's that one event with my niece basically made me realize I never want to be a parent ever. I fear the day when I'm ever a parent. And me and my wife talk about this a lot. We're always like, yeah, let's not be parents. Like, neither of us are, like, ready. Like, this dog is already a lot of work. And she is crazy. It's like, oh my god. Like, dude, for 2 hours, right? I'm, like, sweating after. And this dog is like, can we go again? Holy moly. Thank god she's, like, you know, her energy levels are, like, low. And she just KOs after. Also, tomorrow, I found out that I was slightly overfeeding her, so I looked up like how much you should be feeding a dog of her size and stuff, just to get like a good like sense. I've definitely been overfeeding her by accident, so I'm gonna get like a food scale plus like a ramp and everything. She should be at least within a healthy weight now, because I did notice some like pudginess on her, which I've heard is bad for chihuahuas because their joints are very, very weak. So I've been very, very careful not to overload her. So today she's just having like a nice slow lazy day. She's actually angry at me, the like dog, because like she got less food today than because like imagine going from overfeeding to like normal feeding, right? You're gonna be like, what the fuck, dude? Where's my food, right? So she's like angry at me. She doesn't really want to like play with me. She'll like walk away from me. But every time I come back from the washroom, she's like, holy shit, you're back, and she goes after me. So I don't really know if she hates me or if she loves me. I can't really tell. But thankfully, she won't be as like, you know, pudgy anymore. She'll be a lot more like fit, which is good. Because especially during the winter time, I've noticed it's very hard to walk her. I've never had a small dog before, mind you. Every dog that we've had has been like a very massive dog, like a husky or a German shepherd, or like a medium-sized dog, like a West Terrier, sort of like mix. And like these like dogs, like they do very, very well in like cold weather because they're very, very furry. I tried to take her for like a walk outside, and she was just shaking from the cold. And I'm like, all right, let's just walk inside. I've never done so many laps around my sofa before. Like, I got dizzy. Really dizzy. You're strong enough, but the final boss is kicking your ass. Holy shit. Is it that hard? You know, okay, it must be that hard because the demo mode of the game showed off an insane boss, like a bullet hell boss. And I'm dying to caterpillars, right? Like, I'm still dying to like caterpillars and like, you know, plants. So it makes sense that the game is hard. There's a definite skill element to the game that I'm not good at yet. What I've noticed about the game is that I do not know when to dodge, and I think the hit stun, while it feels nice, I can't reconcile in my head the amount of time that the hit stun takes, how much time has been delayed, and like when to like dodge. And so like my feeling of like a rhythm is like off. This is like, it's one interesting thing because I always thought that like, you know, hit stun would be great in like every game, but I see the problem with like hit stun where you really rely on like understanding timings, right? Like imagine playing Elden Ring where you hit stun everything, right? I can't imagine it being very easy to remember the like timing if you're always like, you know, half a second off on like some combo move from the enemy because you hit them, right? Like it would throw everything off when like timings are so tight. You're the husky mix when you were a kid. Most loyal and loving doggo. Yep. Also the most energetic one. My brother was telling me recently. He was like, because he was the one who was like the main owner of like the German Shepherd and the husky, and I was just there because I was just inside the like house, right? And he was like, yeah, like, you know, because like the way he like walked to them, because I had no clue, because he used to have like a really nighttime schedule, right? So he was telling me how like, yeah, at 2 a.m. I put on my rollerblades. I was like, what? And then I would put leashes on them. And I was like, what? And then I would go, because like where we used to live, there was this giant trail. It wasn't really a trail, but like it was like a long enough parkway that you would go all the way through, and you could kind of like circle around, and there would be enough space to like keep on going forever, basically, right? If you keep on circling around. And yeah, like exactly, like rollerblades to like exhaust them, because they would pull you, right? Like a sled. And I was like, holy shit, that's a lot of energy. Like a lot. It was faster than a bike. Jesus Christ. Yeah, see? Like, I can't imagine a high energy dog like that. Even a small one, like a Chihuahua, like this one, she's already like way too high energy for me, right? Not that like I can't handle it, but that like I'm gonna have to change a lot about how I deal with like, you know, going for like walks and like stuff, or like runs to like really make sure that I match her pace, right? But a husky, like getting them to like sled you for like hours, while it's fun at the same time, I can't imagine that I would have ever thought of that, right? Because I would be too stupid to think of that, and I would try to figure out how I'm going to run with my dog for 2 hours. But yeah, it does seem fun. Yeah, he also mentioned that like during winter, because winter here in like Canada, I mean, you're Canadian, so you know, snow and stuff. He was like, he just brought out the like snowboard, because that park was never cleared. The snow in that park was never cleared, and like that's kind of five-head actually. If you get the space for it, you would get a husky again. That's the thing, right? Like they seem very fun, especially if you put the effort in. Then you get a very rewarding sort of like friend, right? The problem is that you need a lot of space and a lot of energy, which I don't think I would have. Like it was fun to interact with that dog as like a playtime thing, but because I wasn't the primary owner, I didn't know just how hard it like was. But at least I knew like how, you know, easy it was to play with her, because she was like very easy to like take outside in like any weather, and she would love it, and she would play for like hours, right? But I didn't know that it was that hard to get them like, you know, tired, because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Dogs. Our beautiful little furry friends, dogs. This one's asleep now, kind of. She's like listening to me actually. Her eyes are wide open. You actually can't see it, but her eyes are like open. Making them pull is the easy way out. Hence why you to do it. It's better than the bus. True. Wait, true. Wait, yeah. Because like, even like if you train your husky well enough, right? So like make them stay and like wait for you, and like not eat random stuff off the floor. You could just save money by not buying a bike or like anything, right? You just get rollerblades. If you need to do grocery, it's like, all right, let's go, right? If you need to go to like, you know, somewhere, all right, let's like go. You know what? You're onto something. Maybe, how about this? Maybe I'll start a dog sitting service, and I'll do a dog sitting service specifically with like larger dogs, but I'll also at the same time start a taxi service, a rickshaw business, okay? I'll have like a rickshaw behind me. I'll be carrying it. I'll be on rollerblades. I'll be like the sled master, and the dogs will be carrying people. I can double dip on the money. I can, my god. It's like Uber but for dogs. It's like Uber but for dogs, and the people who own the dogs pay me instead. You had a well behaved mix. Oh, it was a mix. Oh yeah, because you said it was a mix. Sorry, yeah. Aw, That's like nice then. I've like heard that they're very like yappy too. I do remember my brother's dog was like really yappy, very yappy. She really loved to like play, and she really loved to like spend like time with me. Like she was very like, she was a very sort of like, you know, close dog, very close. It was really cute actually. But yeah, the Chihuahua is all that I can handle. I know my limits now. One, I wouldn't be a good parent because I wouldn't know what to do when my kid gets mad at me because I'm like not faster than the 5 seconds. Like again, how am I gonna reach the? I can't reach the door in 5 seconds. There's no way unless I sprint, and I'm scared I'm gonna run her over. Like there's no way. Wait, you're really lucky because yours didn't speak at all unless commanded to. But that sounds like the like best part though. See, I wish my dog spoke more. Like, you know, not the barking. I think the bark is loud. But like that like weird like, I don't know, like half speech that like huskies do. That seems fun to me. It seems fun to like talk to your dog and just have them like respond in like nonsense. It's like having two like people who like don't speak the same language trying to like talk to each other. You're just trying to understand based on like body language, like what you're really saying. But the words just like sound fun to like say, so you can say anything and it's just nice to your ears. But again, that's coming from someone who like only talks to themselves for like hours on like a stream. Like even if there's no viewers, I could talk to myself for hours. Like you know what I mean? So it makes sense that I would like a dog that that like talks a lot. Also, you may be wondering why she never gets to be over here behind the fence with me on my lap. It's because she has to learn how to be more alone. Because my wife's schedule is like a lot more like busy. Mine is good, right? Like I'm always home, so it's like, you know, fine. But just in case if I'm not there, right? It's better for her to be used to my wife's schedule, both in terms of like the feeding as well as like, you know, who has time to like play with her, just so she's used to at least like, okay, what is going to happen? Because I don't want her to go and like, you know, go over to like say my mother-in-law's and all of a sudden it's like no one's playing with her for like hours, going from playing every single hour. So there's a lot of things. I've also found out that like puppies sleep a lot. So I'm not gonna say putting her to sleep because maybe that's the wrong term. Isn't that dog putting to sleep? Isn't that when you like kill a dog? Oh my god, it is. Oh my god. Okay, well yeah, exactly. Like huskies are like fun. Yeah, exactly. Because you say good boy and you go like they say the craziest things, but it's so close to like a weird human like speech. They like do like a weird human like voice. It's so adorable and I love it. But yeah, when I found out how much puppies sleep, I realized that I have not been like making her sleep more. Apparently you're supposed to like try and get your dog like puppy to like nap a lot. She has not been napping at all. This is like her first time really getting used to like more like naps. I didn't realize because like the entire time I was like, why is she so excited at like night? But the moment that I go to bed, she is like out like a light for like 16 hours. And I'm like, oh, that's because I'm not giving her enough like naps and like stuff like that. And like she's like, and I keep waking her up like in between so she never gets like a full like sleep. And like I see bags forming under her like eyes. I'm like, oh Jesus Christ, I'm so sorry. This poor dog. But today is not just about talking about the dog. Today we're actually going to be doing some interesting things, okay? We're going to go over what we're going to be doing. So, we're going to be reading some stories. This is a weird one. If you've never been to this channel, we did this last time on like Halloween. We were exploring like, you know, the classic horror stories that like form the entire genre. Obviously, these are the public domain ones that I'm able to read aloud on the stream. And obviously, being public domain, they're like old, and so some of the subject matter can be a bit is sensitive, or like you have to be aware that people back then were just a lot worse than like people now. So like sometimes the words and like the things in these books are like crazy. So just bear just bear with us. Two crazy things happened. One, Slay the Princess is like out. Okay, I've been waiting for this game for a while because Scarlet Hollow, I really liked the small snippet that I tried of the game, and I saw that they were making another game, okay? And then I saw the great reviews on it. I was just waiting to make sure that I could stream it, so I asked them, and I was just waiting for like a reply. I just checked my like email last night, and I was like, oh my god, they said yes, so we're gonna stream that today. Road Warden also got a anniversary update. I didn't know. Last time I played Road Warden was back in May, so it's literally been like months. Road Warden, if you don't know, is a fantastic sort of like narrative adventure game. It is probably one of the most complex but also the most deeply rewarding narrative adventure games that I've ever played before, and we're 3 sessions in and we're nowhere near close enough to the end, okay? it got an anniversary update, which like changes a lot of things in terms of like the game's UI, bug fixes, as well as it adds like a new ending apparently. So like, this is the perfect time to play because our run is like in the midway point apparently. So I don't have to restart the game, but we can also experience all the new content as well. So I'm very excited to see how that goes well. We're gonna see how much of it we can get through. Today will be a longer stream. Decided starting later. Obviously that's I'm gonna pay for that tonight in terms of sleeping. But tomorrow is gonna be a weird day anyway. So tomorrow is gonna be like a bunch of like trash games. Well, not trash games. Like not trash games. Trash implies that's bad, right? These are not bad games, but they're not the kind of games that people would like expect you to like play. Like one has incest, so like it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be weird tomorrow. It's gonna be weird tomorrow. But being a little bit sleep deprived, I think for tomorrow is gonna make it way more funny, way more funny. Also, because some of the games are very interesting tomorrow too. But that's what we're doing today. We're gonna be reading some stories. Just give me a second. I have to use the washroom. I didn't realize I'd have to go so soon. I'll be right back in just a couple of seconds. Niche games, actually, yeah, okay. Niche games is like a very good way of saying it. Niche games with like a very sort of like specific vibe to them that they do what they do really well, but they're very niche and they're very weird. Weird niche games. There it is. Weird niche games. Also some interesting demos, but mostly weird niche games. I'll be right back though. Just give me like 20 seconds, and then we'll start with some story reading.